Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. In the previous episode, we finished simulating the 2027-2028 regular season, and as you can see right there, we whooped the league left and right. 67, yes, 67 regular season victories, 10 regulation losses, and 5 OT and shootout combined losses. Good for 139 points. See, I don't think you're comprehending that. 139 points in the regular season. We are far and beyond the best team ever assembled to be put into a regular season. I know. You got Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers. You got the Montreal Canadiens. You got the Detroit Red Wings of the 90s and 2000s. We are on another level. Each and every part of this team is working. It's not like we have 3 or 4 top players that are just lugging this team to a playoff spot with like 45 wins. No, our depth is coming up clutch. Our top guys are performing at a huge magnitude. It's like a 9.9 earthquake. They are unbeatable in the regular season. But the postseason is another monster. This season, Stanley Cup or bust. There is no other reason we should not win a Stanley Cup this year. If we lose a Stanley Cup, that's a loss in my books. I know we can win all we want in the regular season, but a Stanley Cup is a Stanley Cup. You can be the regular season champions all you want, but they don't get remembered at the end of the season. The winners do. The last one standing. And that is what we begin today against the Winnipeg Jets. Okay, now I'm going to skim over the regular season stats just to show you how incredible it was. For people who didn't watch the regular season simulation, I advise you go and watch that. I know they were relatively longer episodes, but I mean, that was fun. It was fun because you have a guy like Anthony Francis go out there and put up 142 points. His best season ever. One of his lowest goal total seasons, though, which is kind of hilarious. But 86 assists, so we had over an assist per game in the regular season to top off 56 goals. 10 game winners, 46 power play points. He's playing 23 minutes an evening. That's actually 1 minute up from his last few seasons. He's an absolute monster. He's 24. He's not even hit his absolute prime. Okay? Now, for people new to this series, yes, we have a 99 overall high franchise player on our team. It's because we drafted him. It's because Boston gave up that pick. And we gave them a lot. We gave Boston a lot for that pick. And I know you can debate it all you want. Oh, this franchise mode is so unrealistic. Yeah. If you want to go for a more realistic franchise mode, go watch Columbus because that was a whole lot of fun. I mean, we placed a few custom guys in the drafts, but it was nothing super crazy. This one, we just topped off a lot. We created so many fantastic created players, put them in the drafts. Scoring went up. Scoring has gone up. Look around the league. There are so many impressive players. Anthony Francis is the cream of the crop. Okay, Alexei Petrangelov, not to be overshadowed by a 142-point season. Petrangelov has his best regular season to date. 114 points. He has 672 points in 566 games. He's gotten better ever since he started. I know 103 points in his sophomore season is very, very impressive. He kind of stayed above a point per game, and then these last 2 seasons, this team has been so impressive. And he has been a major part of that. And let's not forget the captain, Kirill Kaprizov, 53 goals. I want to say that's his first 50-goal season since his rookie year with 73. I know 73 is going to be hard to beat, but 53 is so impressive. And the captain is an absolute beauty with 10-game winners as well. And then you see a trend here. Our top 4 point getters on this team, forward-wise, have 50 goals apiece. The top 4, almost 5. Almost 5 of the top 5 forward point getters have 50 goals. Langweeder was 3 behind. Cale Newmanen, I know we've been struggling with him contract-wise. He's been performing each and every year. I mean, I think he had 2 less points than he had last year, but 51 goals. He is a goal scorer. Look at his plus-minus. Exactly. 65. I know plus-minus is a weird stat, but whatever. We got him locked up to a long-term deal. I want to say it's $7 million at about 9.95, which is very reasonable considering the amount of money he's wanted in the last few years. We got him locked up. Louis Langweeder is turning out to be one of my favorite players I've ever drafted, because we drafted him in the first round. We didn't know if he was going to be a mega prospect or anything. I know the 2023 draft was super stacked because I put a bunch of creative players in there, but we drafted him and he turned out to be 82 overall out of the draft. I'm like, damn, this is a great player. Let's play him in the regular season. He goes out there, and I want to say he had a 19-goal campaign in his rookie season. That's fantastic. He goes out there in his sophomore season and produces 10 more points than the year prior and a 30-goal campaign. The year after, 32 goals, points went up. The year after that, he missed 12 games. Goals went down a bit, but he did miss 12 games, and he had 52 points. He got better. This year, he's gone. He's lights out. He's one of the best players on this team. Future captain of the squad, I'm not super sure about that, but you never know. He's an absolute beauty, and I see a lot of Gogolev and I see a lot of Langweeder in Gogolev. I see it vice versa. They're very, very similar players. And sorry, yes, my house is making sounds right now because obviously somebody had to flush the toilet at 1 a.m. Because obviously. Nolan Patrick, I know last offseason we made some debatable moves. I understand that. I get that we made a few moves that might have been like, oh, well, I did it for the best of this team. And I think I made the right moves. Nolan Patrick went out there and had 65 points. That is a career average, point-wise. He went out there and had a plus 73, which is his best season by far. He was so important. Each end of the ice. Good giveaway to takeaway ratio. He was the man. He was really, really good. You can look to each and every guy on this list and be like, he was important to this squad. And he's going to have to be bigger for us in the postseason. Sergei Gogolev. In his sophomore season, he puts up 44 points. He had more goals and more points. So very, very similar to Louis Langweeder. I think Gogolev is going to be a better talent in the long run because he's already 86 overall. He's got a good giveaway to takeaway ratio in his career. We did switch him to center, or we switched him to the center position playing on the team third line halfway through the year where I'm like, let's try him out. And we did. And he got better, which is huge for us. And his partner there on the third line, Lionel Waters. Now, Waters is the highest scoring rookie skater in the league, so he's going to be taking home some hardware. A lot of these guys are taking home some hardware, which is lovely. I love that. We are the best regular season team for I don't know how many years in a row this is. We've been that impressive. Chris Griffin continues to be one of the best third liners in the NHL. You know, he gets mad about ice time. I'm not sure why, because he's a third line scoring forward. This is actually his best season yet, right? So that is huge for us. I love him. Connor Dewar, Mark Stone, and Beckman, they started off the season rough. As a fourth line, they were minus players up until 30, 40 games through the season. And then they finished out the season with some fire. All almost at 30 points. That is a phenomenal fourth line, and they need to be good for us. I have a feeling Mark Stone's going to be an absolute beauty for some weird reason. And you can look at the offense and like, wow, the defense can't be as good, right? The defense was so good. Quinn Hughes gets a 100-point season. That is 2 100-point seasons in a row for a defenseman. I should have Googled this. I want to say the last defenseman to get 100 points 2 seasons in a row was Paul Coffey. It might have been Bobby Orr. It's been a long time. He is 100% the best offensive defenseman in the NHL in this generation, and the best defensively because he's a plus 91, damn it, in his career. He's usually a plus 40, at least a plus 30. Guy is an absolute machine. A debatable captain. I know Kaprizov is our captain, but damn it, Quinn Hughes, so good. Actually, he just reached a point per game in his career. Actually, 744 in 743 games. So he's actually over a point per game. And I think that trend is only going to continue until he gets a bit older. So hopefully we get a defenseman with over 1,000 points. That would be very, very interesting. And one of the most underrated players on this team, Marcus Mironov, the first player we ever drafted as general manager of the Minnesota Wild. Some say it might have been a controversial pick at the time. A lot of people were like, oh, go out and get a center, go get this guy, go get that guy, Byfeld, whatever, move up in the draft. Marcus Mironov was the right pick. I've seen that for a while, and I hope you guys see that now. He signed a team-friendly deal off of his ELC for an 8-year deal. He is consistently the best offensive defenseman on this team. You looked at Quinn Hughes, yeah. But Marcus Mironov is an anomaly. As an offensive defenseman, you usually get a lot of, he puts up a lot of points, but sometimes he's not the highest plus minus. He is so reliably defensively. Brandt Clark goes out and has one of his best seasons yet. 74 points, might even be, it's his second best season ever. But he was a plus 97, which leads the entire NHL, by the way. A plus 97. Incredible. Zach Werenski, we brought him on, and we knew we wouldn't be able to retain him this summer, this coming off season, because of cap. And I want to get a bunch of our young guys like Potvin and Bissonnette back. Werenski came over, put up 34 points on the third pairing. We need him to be strong in the postseason. I know I have a bad feeling about this team going into the postseason. Weird. I don't know why. But Werenski, we got him for this reason alone. He's going to have to be important for us. And the two young guys in Potvin and Bissonnette had phenomenal seasons. Bissonnette was probably more impressive with a plus 57. We gave him the time to play, and I have a good feeling about both these guys. They're both very, very young. Potvin is slightly older, 22. I think he just turned 22. He had a good offensive season. We also have to sign him to a contract at the end of the season, but especially I think we have not a lot of money to deal with after the Newman deal, but we have more than I had originally believed. But goaltending. Jaden Weeman, 59 wins. That is 10 wins better than the next guy. And he's the best goalie in the league for the second year. I know I've had a talk with myself, and there's been a few comments suggesting maybe Jaden Weeman should be that guy to be shipped out of town because you've got a guy like Christian Rensfeld who didn't have the best individual statistics, but he won us games. He was a good backup for us. He is young and full of potential. You never know. Okay, I'm not gonna go and show you the entire league stats. If you want to on your own, go ahead and watch the end of the last episode or watch the entire thing. I need the view time or the watch time. I'm not sure. I don't keep track of that stuff anyways. But we're almost at 400 subscribers, everybody. 362-ish, floating around there for the time being. But I appreciate each and every single one of you. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day here on this YouTube channel, by the way, if you didn't know that. But let's take a look at the playoff tree. I don't know why I don't look at the playoff tree as much as I should. I want to create some storylines. So we are facing the Winnipeg Jets. It's been a few seasons. We also have the LA Kings there, who have one player that I was talking about last episode and the episode before. Von Sieg, who is a subscriber created player. He's an absolute beast. I don't want to run into him because I am scared of him, and I know the moment we run into a player like that, it's going to be rough. Okay, you also have Colorado and Dallas, who are two heavyweights in the Central Division. I hope they just battle it out. I mean, they are going to. You got Anaheim and St. Louis. That'll be a good matchup. You got Columbus and Carolina. That'll be an interesting metro bout. You also have the Rangers and the Ottawa Senators. You have the Florida Panthers and Buffalo Sabres, and the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, it's weird because the reigning Stanley Cup champions were kicked out before the playoffs even started, and their names are the Edmonton Oilers. And if you can't recall, we made a trade with Edmonton this offseason to acquire their first-round pick. I believe it was at the draft. We swapped some things, and they missed. That is one potential lottery pick for us. Now, if you don't recall, at the beginning of 2 episodes ago, we traded a player that we got from the Tampa Bay Lightning for Jack Hughes. It was a big trade. If you want to go watch that episode, I highly recommend. And that team was the Boston Bruins. They also missed out of a playoff spot. Actually, Edmonton and Boston had the exact same record, which is kind of crazy how we have both their picks. So the assets that we gave them didn't help them out immediately. And we have Boston's first this year and next year. So we have 2 potential lottery picks. Maybe we luck out on both. Maybe we don't get any. It's still good either way, but the off season is a few months down the road. We have to focus on the here and now, and we are facing the Winnipeg Jets. 40, 28, and 14. They've been pretty good in the last 10, 6-1-3 heading into the postseason. I know they're the worst team in the Western Conference, might even be the worst team to make it into the playoffs. But I know they have a dangerous roster. Oh, yes. How could I forget? Jesper Straka, one of the best goal scorers in this era of the NHL. He's consistently a 50-goal guy. The lowest he's ever scored was actually this year, but it was his highest point totals. He's 111 points this year. The only year he hasn't scored 100 points, he still had 92. He has 285 goals in 409 career games with 517 points. He is the real deal. He has a Rocket Trophy under his belt. You don't want to mess with him. And his wingers don't make anything easier for us. Christian Vesalainen, first-round pick in 2017. He's a great prospect for Winnipeg as it stands right now, but that is a dangerous left winger. And to top it all off, you have Patrick Laine, one of the best Finnish players in the NHL today. He's a goal-scoring machine. You don't want to mess with him. He's been a consistent 40-plus goal scorer. He had 88 points this year. I know he's playing second fiddle to Jesper Straka, but that first line is dangerous. That is the first thing I notice right away. The second thing I notice is that Winnipeg doesn't have the best center depth. After Straka, it goes Almeida, Foudy, and Gaudette. I'm not saying those are terrible centermen, but compared to us, we have a deep center core. I mean, they also have Kyle Connor, which is dangerous in his own right. They also have Jamie Gallivan, 5'10", 24 years of age. He's 88 overall. That is a dangerous second line. You don't even need to have the strongest center. As long as you have at least a strong player on each line, you should be okay. Foudy is centering Evgeny Svechnikov and Carl Grundstrom. That is a great third line. And the fourth line, I've seen worse. Adam Gaudette, Kukkonen, and Josh Norris. You know, they have their stars. They know who their stars are, and they feed them the puck. They can definitely rely on these players to make it into the postseason and do some damage. I'm very scared of that, but how is their defense looking? Yes. Fred... Oh, God. I created this player, and I have no idea how to say his name. Fred Elric Blodker. 25 years of age, 6'10", and before you get yourself all rattled, 6'10", the tallest player in the NHL today is Zdeno Chara at 6'9", and I think the computer did something crazy. Now, I've seen this before a few times. There's a few players that are 6'10". It's because when I created him, I made him 6'9", and players tend to grow before their draft year. And he had a few years to grow before he was drafted, if I'm not mistaken. He had a year to grow. You know, he might have even grown taller. 6'10", the tallest player in the NHL today. And they got him at the trade deadline for actually not too much. That is a dangerous defenseman for Winnipeg. They also have Josh Morey, Dahlstrom, Zaboral, Hajek, and Thompson. I'm not sure how to say that. That's a decent defensive core. Obviously, you have your superstar, and you have 5 other really solid defensemen. That's all you really need, especially with a fantastic forward core. But it always comes down to goaltending, doesn't it? Their starting goaltender is Igor Dieckhaus. Dairy Queen. He's actually a low franchise goalie. I believe I created him, if I'm not mistaken. 6'7". How was he in the regular season? Not the best regular season goalie, but last year with the Manitoba Moose, he wasn't too bad. So he's been an AHL goalie most of his career. But they also have Hellebuck as backup, so they have a dangerous tandem there. I know they're on the lower side of overalls, but you don't need the highest overall goalie to win a Stanley Cup. Scratch players. They have Jacob Bernard Docker, who they can add to the defensive core. That's another solid defenseman. They have Pavel Bure. Oh, wait, what? Wait, 2025. That's nuts. Pavel Bure, a goaltender. Maybe Pavel Bure named his son after himself. Yeah, so I didn't create this guy because 2025 is too far into the future for me to add players. Wow, the computer made a Pavel Bure. Too bad it wasn't a forward. They also have Helge. Scratch players are pretty solid. Some interesting names, but we know they're a dangerous team. We do not take them lately, but Minnesota. 139 regular season points. You are on a quest for your franchise's 3rd Stanley Cup. You need to dominate. Round number 1, home ice, XL Energy Center. Here we come. Game number 1, round 1, first period. Oh, no! I said dominate, not kill them, murder them in their sleeps. Petr Angelov completes the hat trick in the first period. It seems like everybody in the top 6 got on the board there. 5 goals on 19 shots. Their starting goaltender was pulled after 4 goals. And my oh my, we ripped them apart through 20 minutes. See how the second period goes. Okay, they get one back. Jesper Straka was obviously going to be that guy that is going to get a goal for them. And Kel Newman gets his 2nd of the evening. They only get like 4 shots that period. We have 37. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's stomp them here in Minnesota. Don't give them anything else. A power play for Winnipeg. Kill it off. You know, you don't even need to add any more goals this game. Power play for us, they kill it off. Power play for them, we kill it off. Vesalainen gets a goal on 5-on-5. They actually get a power play for themselves late. That is a long one. A lot of penalties here, back and forth for each team, but we walk away with an easy W in game number 1. I don't feel bad for their goaltenders at all. Yes, dominate them. We crush them on home ice, 6-2. Jeez Louise. 5 goals after 20 minutes. Let's hope for the exact same showing from game number 1 in game number 2. Here we go, boys and girls. First period of game number 2. Okay, Anthony Francis starts the scoring, but their superstar and Straka gets on the power play yet again. Carl Grundstrom actually takes the lead for Winnipeg, but Kyle Newman, I believe that is his 3rd goal in 2 games, and ties the game late into the first. We're doubling them in shots, and they have the exact same amount of goals. Weeman, now this is the point where I'm going to get on Weeman. Weeman. 2 goals and 7 shots. That's not acceptable, especially with the defense that I have given you. You should be soaring high and high. You should be soaring high. Your numbers should be great. There's no excuses, Weeman. Second period. Oh my god. So they actually get up by 2 goals there. Jesper Straka again on the power play, and Grundstrom. It was a repeat of the first period. Oh, Jesper Straka is going to be a hard guy to beat. Nolan Patrick, though, his first is a Minnesota Wild in the postseason. The rookie sensation in Waters ties the game, and Anthony Francis gets us the lead. Shots are 25-18 in our favor. Let's go, boys. It's a 1-goal game. Third period has been a high-scoring evening. 9 goals on the score sheet tonight. Power play for Winnipeg, killing it off. That is a dangerous power play from Winnipeg. And Kukkonen ties it up. A 3rd liner, if I'm not mistaken. 3rd or 4th liner. It is a tie game. Quinn Hughes, best defenseman in the world. Late power play for Winnipeg. But Quinn Hughes gets it done, baby. Now that is huge to see from Quinn Hughes because, you know, actually, if you don't know, last year he struggled. He got hurt in the postseason. He wasn't performing his best. Going out there in night number 2 and getting 3 points on your home ice to get a 2-0 lead in the series, the game-winning goal, you're the best in the world. Game number 3, Bell MTS Place, which is an interesting name for Winnipeg. I think could have gone for something a little more interesting. I know it's an advertised league, but come on, you could have tried a bit harder. Okay. Game number 3, we're heading into Winnipeg with a chance to make it a stranglehold lead in this series. Let's see what we can do. Game number 3. Okay. Anthony Francis opens the scoring. That is his 6th point in 3 games. Connor Dewar makes it 2-0. That is exactly what I like to see for my depth. Lassie Thompson, a depth defender for Winnipeg, makes it a 1-goal game. Shots are in Winnipeg's favor, but it is very, very close at this point in time. I don't like this at all. I don't like this. Second period. Ooh, Vesalainen ties it, and we get no offense from the squad there after 40. Yikes, okay. Second period, we are denied of every chance, and it is a tie game heading into the 3rd period. Can we get a little bit more magic this time? Winnipeg! I mean, not Winnipeg, but Minnesota. Anthony Francis is a machine. Come on, can we get a little bit more support here? Power play for Minnesota. Can't get it done. That is rough. If we could have gotten one more, this game might have been sealed. 5 minutes remaining. A quarter of the way there. Quinn Hughes, Louis Langweeder. That is exactly how you stomp out the Winnipeg Jets. A phenomenal 3rd period performance from the boys in green. Yet again, it's been 3rd periods each. I mean, except for the first game. But these last 2 games have been relatively close. In the 3rd period, we go out there and we dominate. Not to say anything so far, but I don't want to jinx anything, knock on some wood. Anthony Francis has 8 points in 3 games. Last year, he was relatively quiet. He was a point-per-game guy, but relatively quiet for a 99 overall. He's going out there, and he's tearing Winnipeg apart. Tearing them apart. Okay, game number 4. You know, we've had trouble in the last few years closing out a series. We have. You can Anaheim a few years ago where they almost reverse sweeped us. I want to say last year a team almost reverse sweeped us. We have struggled a lot, okay? But let's see what we can do here in game number 4 on their home ice. Come on, I want it in 4, boys. Can we do it? Game number 4, first period. Okay, Almeida scores on the power play for Winnipeg relatively early into that period, and Weeman, every time we fail, it's you. It's you. 6 shots in the first period, 1 goal. Yeah, you can say what you want, but man, you got to be better than that. Especially the offense, second period. Kyle Connor makes it a 2-0 game for Winnipeg on 12 freaking shots. Oh my god, Igor is standing on his head for Winnipeg. Oh, I hate this. Come on, you do not, especially with this offense, you do not ever get shut out. Third period, come on, Minnesota. Can we get a little bit of magic? Come on, third period. Zaboral scores early. This game's over. No way we come back from a deficit like that this late into a game. Power play, and we're getting stomped out here in Winnipeg. Don't let him post a shutout. Can we get 1 goal? 2 goals, maybe? 3? 4? I don't know. 1. Come on, that's all I'm asking for. Power play late for Winnipeg, and they shut us out in their barn. Now, yes, we can lose a game 6-5 here and there. We can get shut out. No. We don't ever get shut out. We are 100 offense. That's not how this works. Our offense was denied by Igor. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. Game number 5, we're here back in Minnesota. Yes, I would love to party in Minnesota. Let's get it done right here, right now. Give them nothing, man. Close out a series for once. Game number 5, here we go. First period. Yes. Yes, a repeat of game number 1. We go out there and the offense is everywhere on the ice. I don't know why I said Luke Kunin. Cale Newmanen, Nolan Patrick, Pietrangelo, and Anthony Francis. I'm sure Anthony Francis had more than 1 point in that period. He's going off. You can't stop him. But they did score 1. On 7 shots, Weeman, could you get out of 1 period with letting up 1 goal? I would really appreciate it. Okay, second period. Gallivan makes it a closer game, but Anthony Francis scores a late one in the second period to give us a 3-goal lead, especially with Winnipeg's apparently potent offense on paper. This is a huge lead to defend. You have 20 minutes to head back to the second round. Get it done. Shut them down. Do nothing. Quinn Hughes, is that 3 goals? Not 3 goals in 3 games, but 3 goals in 4 games? Lionel Waters, Rookie of the Year. It's oh my god, Marcus Miranda. Everybody is just piling on the goals. Power play late again. No mercy here on home ice. Josh Norris, there's no way they're coming back from a deficit like that. Minnesota stomps out Winnipeg in 5 games. I thought they had a little bit of magic there to come back, but no, they did not. Every big man came up there in game number 5. Our offense was huge, excluding game number 4, and we stomp Winnipeg out in 5. But the question is, who will we be facing in round number 2? It'll either be Dallas or the Avalanche. I'm excited to play either one. Who's it going to be? It is going to be the Dallas Stars. I believe the second best team in the NHL this season. And we do have a little bit of history to get to. But that is for tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.